Need for Speed hashtag.
What is it? Could it have been better than Payback? Could it have had free round cups?
Let's take a step back and look through this article. Now, for those that have no idea what the heck I'm talking about, Need for Speed hashtag was essentially the code name for Need for Speed Payback. This image was posted onto Reddit, which shows Need for Speed hashtag, and it was titled Need for Speed hashtag. That was literally it. That was all there was displayed, and everyone obviously went straight to speculating and guessing and trying to decode what exactly was going on here. Well, there is actually a top comment. This top comment is by Max Lazy 10. He gave people some insight on what he thought this image meant, and that's the image and the text that the majority of people saw when they saw Need for Speed hashtag. Turns out that this is an extremely early Payback concept art. Confirmed it's from the game files. It's crazy to see how much the game has changed from its inception. It's almost as if they were originally going for a game where we could have enjoyed car culture focus with the meetup of the concept art, customization obviously, daytime where there's a 24-hour day and night cycle, an open world mixture of city and other diverse areas. Plus, we've also had a track. I doubt this would be a track racer game, rather just a track as part of the open world. Also, no off-road racing anywhere. Honestly, the only thing we don't get hints of are whether police and story would be incorporated. I'm sure cops would have played a role due to it being illegal street racing, and the hashtag moniker might have meant it'd be a story where you race to the top or band together to take down a crooked street racer crew or something. As for a theory why it could have changed, I did some digging. It seems like Craig Sullivan, creative director for Need for Speed 2015, stepping down from Ghost Games in December 2016, according to his own LinkedIn. Seeing the images from that year, this may have been the game that Ghost would have made all along before William Ho stepped in and turned it into Payback because he likes action racing and off-road. Slightly frustrated emoji. Damn, Ghost could have been on the right track all along originally. Oh well, still a nice pick though. I like the atmosphere, just needs more water. Really cool post, thought out and gave us some insight as to what it could have possibly been when it came to this image right here. And honestly, the image is really, really nice. It gives me a really good vibe of, you see later in the post, a lot of people thought the same. It gives you a lot of pro street style vibes. It gives you a lot of vibes from Race Wars in Fast and Furious. That's a really good tie-in. I mean, if you look at Horizon, some people said it reminds them of the Horizon. Some people reminds them of the summits in The Crew. There's a lot of combinations of the things you get here. And honestly, overall, it's just a cool atmosphere. But let's step back a second and let Pants throw some reality on you. Yes, this is a nice post, nice and thought out, as you were, but it's a picture. It's concept art. Yes, they wanted a car culture focus. It's a racing game. That's kind of what they did in the last game, and it worked well, so they were going to carry on in this game. Yes, they have a little bit of it there. It's not as big a focus as it was, although that may have been a fault. They could have definitely pushed a bigger car focus in this game. I mentioned the fact that it's a mix of city and other diverse area, all this kind of, I'm like, okay, right, yeah, you see that, but it's a concept image. A concept image could be a slightly small piece of a game. They could have wanted to do even further than that, which is what they did. They added off-roading and stuff. William Ho stepping in was not the final stab in its back or anything. Like, that's a little bit conspiracy theorist and a little bit crazy, in my opinion. All of this stuff, all of this listed stuff that people are taking as fact, as taken as, oh, it could have been, oh, it could have been. This post is speculation based on the image alone. The one image that is shown for Need for Speed hashtag. Okay, this is in no way bashing the post. This is people misinterpreting this whole post, going on it and checking through and be like, oh, could have been. Need for Speed hashtag is Need for Speed Payback. Okay, I'm pretty damn sure all along they planned for the similar thing as to bump it up another level. They probably saw, like, look at this. It reminds me of Race Wars instantly. Everybody knows that in general, Fast and Furious is massive, and there is a reason it is massive. Car heists are cool. Adding extra different types of people bash Payback for adding these special new types of missions where, yes, some of them were a little bit silly, some of them could have been more fully fleshed out and much more enjoyable overall, but they're a cool idea, they're a cool addition. Yes, you can bash them, I'm not saying you can't bash them, but I'm appreciative of the fact that they're actually doing that, because a general idea of a racing game is you race. Although that's cool and all, people like to mix it up. For example, in Horizon, they have you race scripted planes and boats and stuff, and that's pretty cool in some cases. cases, I actually really enjoy those events. Even though I know they're scripted, I can still enjoy them. Well, whereas Need for Speed, they have to do something similar, but they're not gonna. Why would you race a blimp in Need for Speed? To be honest, let me just say, racing a blimp in Forza was the stupidest idea. And Need for Speed, I think stealing the Koenigsegg right at the beginning of the game was a really dumb decision. Like, how about making that the final heist kind of thing? You know, you're stealing some ridiculous cars, because you go from stealing a Regera all the way to stealing some kind of Lamborghini and something that you don't even get. It's a bit like, what? If you started off with the crew stealing a little bit of money, and then all of a sudden they, at the end of the game, they stole a Regera or a Regera, whatever the hell. If that's what they did, that would have been much better. Let's have a look at that image once more, shall we? It is pretty much Vegas, as it was in Need for Speed Payback. You can see the city in the background, the skyline, and the mountains, pretty much exactly as it was in Payback. On the cars, I see a couple more exotics than normal. For the example, the Pagani, and I also see a Lamborghini, which definitely isn't in the game. It was in Rivals. So it's a shame that some of those cars couldn't have been there, but let's be honest, it's a concept art. They probably tried to get those cars in there, and the manufacturers said no, so they didn't. One thing I will agree is with the amount of people there, the atmosphere seems really, really nice in this image. I wish there was more of this. You kind of meet up into a race war style thing. You know, they could have taken a lot more cues from original Fast and Furious. Car people's favorite Fast and Furious movies are the originals. The more recent, less so. So if you can make it less like the new Fast and Furious movies, that would be great. But based on this image, if we use this one concept image alone to say that, oh, hashtag was going to be better than Need for Speed Payback,
there is no police in this whatsoever, so that means hashtag is worse than
like, you see how dumb that sounds? I understand people's frustration with Payback, because I'm a little bit frustrated with some of its areas as well. For example, grip driving, racing, for me, was such an important point that they need to get right, and I was disappointed with how it was handled in Payback. The story overall was kind of average. It wasn't amazing. It was definitely better than having no story at all, in my personal opinion. The car list is much more diverse than we've had in the past. Like, they're actually filling it out with cars that people want. Classic muscle cars. In the last game, 2015, there weren't that many of them, and a lot of tuner stuff. There's already a lot of tuner stuff. For example, they added the 350 that people wanted. That's a major pillar car that people really wanted. They're adding some hypercars for those that actually are interested in them, because a lot of people are interested in hypercars, didn't you know? Like, kids love them. Kids love it. And one other point I wanted to pick up on this is that Craig Sullivan left, and which is why there was a direction change. Now, in the past, we used Craig Sullivan again as a pillar to point the finger at and be like, look, this game's crap, sort it out. He was the creative director, and I know that in the past we have pointed fingers at him for doing the wrong, because he was the creative director on Most Wanted 2012. He was the creative director on Rivals. So he has, you know, we have reason to point a finger at him, but at the same time, he actually did want customization. He did want this kind of stuff. After we've seen, we dug up Most Wanted 2012, and we found out that the game actually wanted to have a story, have progression. If you haven't seen those videos, you should really check them out. It gives you an insight into how Most Wanted 2012 was actually meant to be, gameplay and all. Craig Sullivan left on his own account because he got a better paying job role, or better job role in general, at Amazon. If you don't know, Amazon are building an absolutely insane team from the people they've hired to start developing games themselves. How they're going to do this? Are they going to release them on Amazon Fire Sticks or something like that? Or are they going to fully release like console class games? I have no idea, but it sounds like they are creating an insane team, and they've got a lot of damn money under their belt. So you know for a fact that Amazon is going to go through with this, and they're going to decimate, because Amazon are bloody amazing. Get it? Amazing Amazon. In my opinion, that's the only reason. Like, it was just a better paid job, and he'd done Need for Speed, and he'd tried, and people still complaining, and it was probably really stressful. So now William Ho is here, and he actually worked on a lot of the older games that we liked, and that's why you get a lot of flavor from the older games in these new games. It makes me happy. Just do a bit more of it next time, please. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this whole Need for Speed hashtag malarkey. There's a link to the Reddit post down below. Credit goes to the poster, not myself. I just wanted to make a conversational topic video on it because, well, it makes sense. I'm a Need for Speed channel, you know. If you want to see more videos like this, please be sure to smash like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, peace.